They say that the first casualty in war is truth. But in the game of politics, the casualty is loyalty. Welcome to Gravitas Plus. I am the host. This series is about the dark secrets that have the potential to shake the very foundations of our world. And today we begin that journey with a word that has the power to send shivers down the spine: treason. The treacherous act of betrayal, the hushed whispers of hidden agendas. Who among us hasn't been affected by it? Who among us hasn't suffered because of it? When Edward Snowden exposed the extent of American surveillance, he was called a traitor by some. When Julian Assange revealed classified information about the Iraq War, he was called a traitor by others. Both men were branded traitors for exposing the truth. But what exactly is treason? The dictionary meaning is betrayal of trust or breach of confidence. But that's just one part of the story. In politics, the line between loyalty and betrayal is often fine. It can be a question of perspective. What may be considered treasonous by one government can be seen as patriotism by another. Let me explain. During the Cold War, the U.S. and the Soviet Union were sworn enemies. The Americans considered anyone who sympathized with the Soviet Union a threat, a traitor. The Soviets had their own list of threats. In this climate, imagine being an American scientist working on both sides. You share sensitive information with the U.S. government. A few months later, it's splashed across the front pages of the Soviet newspaper. You could be branded a traitor by two governments. So how do you defend yourself when you are charged with treason by your own country? And here's why this debate is so important. Treason is often followed by disloyalty. Governments that suspect their citizens of disloyalty will keep tabs on them, monitor their communications, scrutinize their every move. In the United States, a system of checks and balances was put in place to prevent the concentration of power. Today, that system is being used to monitor the very people it was designed to protect. In 2013, The Guardian published a top-secret document. It detailed the extent of online surveillance by the National Security Agency. The revelation caused a political storm. Was it disloyalty or was it betrayal? Betrayal comes in many forms. Sometimes it's hidden in plain sight, like the Trojan horse that never left Greece. At other times, it's hidden in words. Julius Caesar famously said, "Beware the Ides of March." On that day, a group of senators killed him. One of them was his friend, Brutus. He plunged his dagger into Caesar's chest. Betrayal, they say, is the highest form of flattery. Here's another example. Mahatma Gandhi led India's freedom movement against the British. His close aide, a man named Sushila Nayar, betrayed him. She leaked information about the movement to the British. Her reward, she was given a noble title by the British and a hefty sum of money. But why do such betrayals happen? To understand that, let's go back to the story of Judas Iscariot. He was one of Jesus Christ's 12 disciples. According to the Bible, Judas betrayed Jesus by revealing his whereabouts to the authorities. What was his reward? 30 pieces of silver. This story has been told and retold countless times. It remains the most famous example of betrayal in human history. But what motivated Judas? Was it greed or a warped sense of justice? Scholars have debated this for centuries. Some say Judas felt that Jesus was not doing enough to fight the Roman occupation, so he handed him over to the authorities. Others say he simply wanted the reward. Whatever the reason, the story of Judas became a metaphor for betrayal. To this day, someone who betrays another person is called a Judas. The story also found resonance in Russia. In 1940, Soviet leader Joseph Stalin was betrayed by one of his closest confidants, General Georgy Zhukov. Zhukov played a key role in defeating the Nazis at the Battle of Stalingrad. But Stalin distrusted him. He kept Zhukov out of important meetings, sidelined him. So when German troops entered Moscow, Zhukov saw his chance. He fled to the west. Stalin got wind of it and ordered Zhukov's arrest. He was charged with treason and spent the rest of his life in prison. In 2013, Russia passed a law that made it illegal to spread false information about the armed forces. The law was challenged in court. The judge who heard the case was Colonel General Nikolai Kripes. He delivered a verdict in favor of the government. After the hearing, Kripes sent a text message to the lawyer who had argued against the government. He said, and I quote, "You lost because you chose the wrong side." The judge was essentially telling the lawyer that he should have supported the government's position. This was a clear case of betrayal. But where does that leave the concept of loyalty? Does the government have the right to demand absolute loyalty from its citizens? Should citizens blindly follow the government even if they believe it's wrong? We are living in times where technology is shrinking the world. Every citizen has access to the internet. They can make their voices heard. But at the same time, they are being constantly monitored. Cameras track their every move. Emails are being intercepted. So the question is this: should we be worried about betrayal? Or is this paranoia? Does constant monitoring really happen? You decide.